Brainiac. Ooh-wee. You guys hear that? Da-na-na. Quit singing, Matt. Quit singing. Da-da-da. Ooh. What's up? There we go. Brain skis. Look at this. July 3rd already. Oh my God. And I'm whacked out on Mojo here. I've got a cuppy full of coffee with mixed with Mojo. Tina Daly's like told everybody don't do that. But I'm gonna tell you what. Right there, Mojo. Damn it. Black Colombian coffee. Push. I grew up pushing shit to the envelope. I always did. When I was younger, pushed it to the envelope. Jumped ramps on bikes that my mother would say, "You're gonna die." Well, let's see. Don't do that, Matt. You're gonna get hurt. Well, let's see. Well, before I sell you or try to get you guys buying Mojo and up on Mojo, might as well push you to the brink of break, right? Right. Brainiacs, tonight we're going to talk about kind of the same thing. At what point did you break? At what point did you go, what? And something in your head just goes, and maybe even you get that that quantum tick, that right? That little something don't add up right? You're like twitching and shit because somebody said something or you seen something. Or when did you wake up? And what event did it take? What happened? Was it like right here? Was it back in 2000? Back in 2001, the Twin Towers fell. Was that when it was? Was it whenever, like shortly thereafter? Was it Tower 7, which didn't even get hit? All right. Was it the parts and the pieces where you start seeing things with like little teeny leaks, like no missile hit the Pentagon. No plane hit the Pentagon. Right? Oops, did I say that? Right, I did. It was a missile. It's crazy stuff. I'm just going back to this specific event. Okay. So me and Michelle, you guys know her. You guys know her very well. She's called the show plenty of times. But tonight we've sucked her up over on the video so you guys can see her pretty little face as she smokes cigarettes and yells at me. No, she's not gonna yell at me. But nevertheless, we're gonna talk about these events, these trigger events, and hopefully you caught the last one. The sub event, the sub implosion, whatever it would be. That thing. We're talking about that and a lot more, Brig. Don't go nowhere. I can't share the broadcast. I'm on restriction. Please share the broadcast, share the podcast, and we'll see you on the other side of this introduction. Don't go nowhere, Brainiac. Buckle up. Welcome aboard.
Brainiacs. You guys ready? It's time. It's showtime, brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's go! Talk about ufology, conspiracy, controversy, and anything and everything.
Did you get on Facebook? That's right. Let's go, Brainiac.
Let's go.
To the anti-captions that turn up that volume and rip up the dial.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Get up, Brainiac. Buckle up, everybody. Welcome aboard.
Oh, brains. Looky here. I'm going to go over to this screen right here. I've also got to go to the next screen, but welcome aboard, Brainiacs. I hope you guys are doing well. No doubt about it. I'm going to shoot over here. I'm going to turn this up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And go over here to this right here. We're going to go to this screen right here. Yeah. Michelle, say hello. What's up?
Hi. Okay. Hi.
She's like, hello.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to
Hello.
get over to my other screen where I've got the brains, the brain chat, and I just said
I got my other phone so I can keep up with the conversation.
all right. I'm sure again. What's screwed up is what made let's see. No, not share. I'm trying to name my window. We're gonna name the window the brains. There we go. Brains. Now that screen should like flip on me here in a second. Brain.
I'm still not in the middle. You're kidding me.
What's that?
My face is like half cutting off. I don't know why. I keep moving around trying to find the right thing.
There we go. Look at them. There they are. Miss Morgan says, hi, everybody. Andy Cassidy's waving. Tina Daly's waving. Oh, my. This is something that you wanted to talk about. I was going to talk about some stuff, but that'll fit right in to what you wanted to talk about. You're like, I think we're going to talk about this.
Well, let's put it this way. So you all get a context of why Matthew's doing this and being very accommodating. I might add, thank you very much. I went to sleep yesterday, or the day before yesterday, having a conversation with him as I fell asleep. So I knew it had to be important because I know you guys all feel it. I know you do. People have been talking about it. People have been making posts about it. People have been doing TikToks about it. You feel it in the air. You know something's up. And we all know there's going to be some kind of a triggering event. And those of us that have had the luxury of time have been preparing for this moment. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are going to be shaken. A lot of people are going to be taken off guard. A lot of people are going to be in a shambles because their world is going to fall apart and they're not going to know what the hell to do. Where do they go from here? Everything they knew crumbled right before their very eyes. What are they supposed to do next? And that's what we're going to talk about because for some reason it imprinted on me very strongly that people need to be prepared to assist. You've been training for this. This is why I want you to remember back what made you wake up. What was that event? What was that conversation? What was that aha moment? And I want you to talk about it. I want people to call in. Don't be shy. Do it. Get it out there. Don't be ashamed of the moment that you became aware there was more than your little 3D world. That you understood that you were just a drop of sand in a great vast beach of sand, and you were one little tiny grain. But without you, that ocean, that sand, wouldn't be complete. Every single person makes up, even though we are all very individual. So when people feel and they see whatever it is they're going to see, whatever that event is going to be, the people who have been doing this for a long time, some decades and decades, and since they were little children, they knew they were different, like me. I didn't have a singular moment, but I did have an aha moment that solidified it for me, but I always knew. Even when I was 11 years old, looking for a religion, to join because I wanted to belong somewhere. Not a single one fit. I couldn't find anything. I didn't have a sense of community, a sense of belonging, a sense of I belong in this world. I never have. And a lot of you have felt that, and a lot of you relate to that. But what's going to be very, very important is to remember the beginning. Remember you're searching, and you're going down rabbit holes. You're going through the emotions, the anger, the fear, the denial. That's the big one. The denial. The realizing that everything you've been taught is a lie. Your government wouldn't lie to you. Your church wouldn't lie to you. Your pastor that you grew up with wouldn't lie to you. Your parents wouldn't lie to you. Well, they did knowingly or unknowingly. But you had to figure it out for yourself. But what's coming is going to be a mass awakening of such proportion that people aren't going to know what to do. That's where this is coming from. And that was what was imprinting on me the other night. That this is huge because this is what we've been training for. How to do this, how to help everybody else.
I'm gonna intervene with for a second. I got a funny feeling that all of us in here, the majority of everybody watching and listening, we are awake enough to know that there's definitely a shit show going on. Okay, from what I understand, there's going to be a lot coming at everybody. That it's going to be even for myself and you, Michelle, and there's even a handful of like real shamanistic people in the audience. Okay, it's even going to be a what to them when shit really, really comes unglued or something happens. Now, again, yep. I think I pretty much think I'm ready for like whatever they throw at me or us. I just do, but I do think that it's going to be a shock to my system. You follow what I'm saying? Even mine. Yeah. But like you said, I think we possibly could be the ground crew to accommodate those that are like literally just taken aback and completely thrown off guard. No idea what the going on.
They're going to need counseling. They're going to need healers. They're going to need people to, openly discuss and say, okay, now what? And people are going to need to be taught and shown and get crash courses. I mean, we've had years of what I call boot camp training, and boot camps are hell. Boot camps are not fun. They can last. The ones that last for years are doable. The ones that are very short and very condensed and you're on a time crunch, those are brutal. They're brutal. And this is what they're going to face on a mass scale. And when I had this the other night, be it a vision, be it of whatever, I know something is very close.
Everybody does. Everybody can feel it, dude. We all can feel. If you can't feel something by now, there's something wrong. You know that something's about to break. You can feel it.
And it's very hard to pinpoint a time or a place or any one event. And I'm sitting outside here, gonna probably, I don't know if you can hear the vehicles and stuff going by, so sorry if you can. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I look at is that when these things happen, people, Bella, know just the neighbors. You know the neighbors. Sorry, she's very protective. Anybody comes by, she gotta let them know that she sees them. And, when this happens, we need to be the ones that are first to recover. We have to do it quickly, and we have to be that ground crew that goes around and is the comfort, is the way shower, is doing what we've been trained to do. We can't bury our heads in the sand and say no. not my circus, not my, you know, that's not how it works. Not when this happened, and it was such a big feeling, and I don't get these very often. I'm gonna have to switch out headphones because this one's already dying. Because if I don't have a headphone in, you are gonna hear all the sirens that are
That's
going
all
off right now.
Okay, do what you got to do. I'm going to look through the comments here because there's a lot of good comments. And Michelle Espinosa says, "Nope, boot camp is over, buddy." That we can feel. We definitely we can all tell that boot camp is over with. Jessica McTarsney says, "I hope that I've got the patience for this coming step." Angela Black, this is what I wanted to talk about because there for a second. Angela Black says, "Shout out to you, by the way, love you." She says, "I don't remember waking up, but I do remember thinking on how back-asswards everything was here whenever I was a toddler. I knew back then that I was just here to shake people up." Now that comment is, I asked my wife, I asked Melissa this prior to this discussion tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, she is the same way. It's like she just knew that this was a little facade. It's we're here for just our own little soul contract or whatever it be. And she knew that something wasn't right with being here. But I'm going to say that for me personally, let's go back to Waco, Texas. Do you remember the event whenever I can't even remember the dude's name, built the compound in Waco, Texas, right? Do you remember this event, Chelle? She can't hear me. Anyway, the event in Waco, Texas, right? Where they literally took the compound versus even trying to really work with this guy. They just burn up everybody inside of it. We're not talking, primarily sheriffs and local police. Oh, hell no. No, this was the CIA's involvement in my world and in my life that we literally watched them burn down a compound with everybody in it. I'm like, I literally watched it. I watched this entire thing. My eyes was glued. I was glued to the TV, and I could not forget thinking, well, what about all of what about the women and the children that what about the women and children? No, they burnt them up too. They're trying to get this guy, but yet they killed everybody. They set the whole son of a bitch on fire. Now, Michelle, I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. This is great. Why kind of figured. Jessica McTarsney says, Michelle, take out your earphones. Just let us everybody hear the thing. Because if not, I'll be talking to myself with you just down here in the box. Because we can't hear you. We can see your mouth moving, but no headset. They messed up her sound. I think that they just, don't think that they messed up her sound. I think it's just her phone. That's the thing. It's like in and out of her phone is really screwy. For real. Koresh, that's it, Angela Black, thank you. The David Koresh compound. That right there, to me, and I was young. To me, that was like an oh shit moment. I was like, what? Yeah, so whenever they started that, and they started killing all those people, and they didn't care. They didn't give two shits. You can literally go on, maybe possibly go on YouTube and find it. Can you? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't. Good evening and greetings to you, Mr. Lee. Alexa Jameson says, 2 to 12 Palladians visited me when I was 5. Woke me up. I was already non-compliant renegade. At 5 years old, she's a non-compliant renegade. Let's see. Sue says, I felt it fit. Never. She's like, I never fit. That's a lot of people right now. That's not just you, Sue, especially. I'm seeing a lot of that in this tribe of people, in the listening audience as well. We're hearing it that I just didn't fit in, and I just didn't. All right, so let's see, Michelle, what's going on with you? Let me see. I gotta try to ask to unmute you. All right, there we go. All right, try that.
Testing 1 2. Testing.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you just fine.
Now you're gonna hear all the traffic and everything else. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. At least we can hear you. You heard nothing that I was saying, did you?
I didn't.
I told everybody that my wake-up call was young. I was young. And it was the David Koresh. I do believe this was it. The David Koresh compound. That they set ablaze with all of the women and children in it. And I'm like, and the CIA was involved in this, okay? This was their thing. And I'm like,
It wasn't.
I really, really find this interesting. That the CIA's there and they're blowing shit up, burning things down. And they made sure that they did it. They killed them all. That's funny. Tina Danley's like, have her call back. We've already done this twice. They're messing with, I don't know, they're messing with your phone or you're messing with your phone. Something's going on.
I'm not touching it.
Dude,
My
touch
screen
the
is-
fan.
I didn't touch anything. My screen is
Yeah.
bouncing back and forth. They're
right.
they're going to town.
All right. But, okay, stop. Who's they? Who is they?
Whoever they are,
Who's they?
our little ABCers.
But see, I've been told that well, we're just wackadoodle because they don't mess with our stuff. But yet, me and the majority of everybody listening and watching, yeah. We know this. We know this. So that was my thing. Was the David Koresh thing. That's whenever I was like, something's not right with the political system. Now, spiritually is a completely different story. What about you? When did you wake up into what? Did you in politics?
Well, I know spiritually it's even easier because I was like 11, and I couldn't find a church to go to because nobody would answer my questions, and I had questions that I wanted answered, and they couldn't do it. And my mother was very politically involved. She worked for RCA back east before she moved out to California. My father worked for National Steel, and we were still connected to all of his family. His family was German, very active in military and environmental and stuff like that. But me growing up, my mother didn't care. She was like, you do whatever is going to make you happy. And when I was 18, I went and signed up to vote, and I did that, and I did all the stuff. And the first one that really got to me politically was the George Bush, the younger one, and Hart, I think it was, and they had the runoff, and Hart won by popular vote, but they said George Bush won, and it was a big scandal. That one, and it was, I don't know how many years ago, but that got me started looking at the political system and just going to town on it. And by the time Barack Obama came around, I stopped voting. I said, this is a joke. This is a joke. So
Hands down on that one.
That was the end of it for me, like the official end. When I stopped even realizing that they were doing anything for our benefit at all. So, I mean, that was for me. But as far as spiritual wise, I had my confirmation back in 2016. I kept um, getting a date in my head, and I don't do dates. I don't. I've never done dates, but I kept getting this date in my head, and this date was September 21st, and it was just an everyday date. It didn't seem to have any significance or whatever, but that was the day. I was in Arizona, and my son was young, and I worked two jobs. I had to get up real early in the morning to go work out a lot, and um, I couldn't sleep. And the first one was something significant is going to happen to you on September 21st. And I was like, okay, whatever. Well, that morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, so technically it was September 21st, even though it was right at first thing in the morning, I couldn't sleep, and it was real hot. It was like 110 degrees, and I remember because it was like, oh, well over 100 degrees, and I couldn't sleep, and the air conditioner broke, and it was a nightmare. And I went and took some coffee and went out into the back patio, and the sky was all clouded over. It was all gray, and suddenly there was a black hole that punched through a sea of gray, little tiny hole, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I looked up, and suddenly there was a light there. I went, "Oh, pretty star." Well, the star moved, and I said, "Oh, look at you, aren't you cute?" And it went up and down. I went, "Huh? Stars don't go up and down." At least as far as I knew, they didn't go straight up and down. And so I started watching it, and I watched it, and I watched it, and I said, "Do something to let me know you're saying hello." And I wasn't scared. I wasn't anything. And it started to weave in and out of the clouds, and it would end up back in that bright spot. And I said, "Okay, are you here to say hello? Come straight down. Let me see you." And it shot straight down and then went straight back up. And I went, "Okay, well, let's do this. If you're here for me, what do you need me to do?" And that was the point my gifts started opening up, was when that happened.
Now here's the thing. A lot of people don't know, Michelle, that you are part. Let's just say you are Rh recessive blood type, right? Or are you not?
I'm O positive.
All right. Now, where does the draconian dragon come out in you? How does this connect?
That I don't know, because there's mysteries on my father's side. My father's side has questions. My mother's side, I can pretty well go all the way down. But my father's side, there's a lot of gaps. But the first time I ever saw my eyes change was on September 21st. I had another dream where that day was going to be significant somehow, some way, and I was in Seattle, and I had gone home from the library to get a quick bite to eat, and I went to the restroom, and I washed my face in the mirror, and I looked, and my eyes completely changed. And I was like, "What the hell?" So my friend was working the desk, so I went downstairs, and I said, Allie, look in my eyes. Tell me what you see." And she said, "First of all, why are they different colors? They're silver. Why are they different colors? And why are they straight up and down? Where's your pupil?" That was the first time. And ever since, it's just been a thing. So I don't know if it was me being in Arizona, allowing them to open up my gifts. Whoever did, whoever flipped the switch, whatever happened, I don't know what happened. I know after that I became very clairvoyant. I could sense things around me. I still could not hear. I can feel, and I could feel things. I could see energetically, but I couldn't see physically, if that makes sense. But I could definitely hear things. I could feel things. Um, I started to have dreams and visions that I could remember. Uh, and it started to really develop. And that's when that started to develop. But for me, it just has been a gradual process. I remember telling my mom back in the day, "Are you sure I wasn't adopted?" And she was, and I didn't mean it meanly. I said,
Okay.
I don't fit in. I'm not a part of this family. They could care less if I'm here or not." She's like, "Oh, don't be silly. You're the baby child, blah, blah, blah." No, you don't understand, Mom. I don't fit in anywhere. Not at school, not at church, not in the community. I don't make friends. The old people are my friends. I would love to go to the senior center and hang out with the old people. That was my fun as a kid. And I said, I don't fit in anywhere. I don't fit in this time. I wasn't from here. And she actually understood. She said, "You know what? I never was either. I never fit in." And so, is it genetic? I do think so. I do think it runs in your bloodline. I think that it plays a strong role in it, but not always. If you are specifically here for this time, I do believe people are placed in families that this is their first time here. They came for this, and I do believe that. Have I had walk ins? Maybe. I've had a lot of traumatic events in my life. Um, could I have had walk-in contracts? Very possibly. Um,
I,
I don't.
I, I remember nothing. Do you know that? I remember absolutely nothing. I do past life. Check this out. I got into doing past life regression therapy to help me possibly remember my own self. And I don't. I don't remotely remember. I don't remember shit. I remember nothing.
Yep.
Now, but however, Michelle Espinosa will tell you whenever I get cognitive and I like get hijacked, I will channel. My face changes, my disposition changes, my voice changes, and it is a completely different energetic shift. Now, that goes to say, is everybody that's paying attention right now, are they able to tune in, tap into their own core soul self and realize that, I'm sorry, Dorothy, but we're not in Kansas anymore. Something happened. Something happened when. I don't know when, and I don't know where.
Yep. And I think once we get into these points, we allow ourselves to be open. If you're not open, they might do it by force. I think that's a more rare case. Once you allow yourself open and you meditate, you let your mind go. You subconsciously, in a lot of cases, offer yourself like as a tool, as a vehicle, as a vessel, for messages to come through and that sort of thing. But for me, it was more of a matter of when things happened to me, I think that was part of my heritage coming out. I know when I've had dreams about past lives, every one that I've had, I had one where I was a nun, but I was a warrior nun. I was fighting on a wall in Scotland, and I died by an arrow, but I was defending a monastery. I remember my deaths. It's weird. I've been drowned. I've been burned at the stake. I've been a wise woman. My favorite was I was a wise woman in the mountains of Kentucky back in the day, and people would secretly come to me and bring me tobacco and food as payment because I wouldn't take money. And I was a healer, and I would birth babies, and I would set broken bones, and they thought I was this crazy lady. And I had animals all around me, and that's when I remember I was a Egyptian priestess. I remember that, and I was very tall. I was about 6 feet tall, very statuesque, and that seemed odd to me that I would be that tall, but I was. So if those are legit memories, then those are the ones I remember. But who knows if they're dreams or legit memory? I don't know. I've never been regressed. So I couldn't tell you for sure, but those are the ones I remember. But I think if people realize and they feel this and they allow themselves to open up, then memories will just come. Like you'll dream and things will pop into your dreams. And if you journal and you write down or you meditate or you do all these things, this is why I think people need to talk about this right now and really prepare that people are going to come to you and have questions. They're going to want to know, what do I do now? Because their world has been completely shattered. What are they going to do? Where do they go? What direction do they go to? How do they figure it out? How do they know what their mission is or their plans are supposed to be or where they're supposed to go next? And we've got to realize we've been training for this. This is going to be our job. This is what we've been put here to do. And I think a lot of us are feeling that. A lot of us are getting ready for that. And if you'll notice, a lot of the old timers, and not necessarily meaning age, aren't bothering with the prepping and the food storage and the getting ready and the survival and all of that. A lot of people aren't.
That'd be
They might
me.
Yeah, they might be growing herb gardens because they're into medicine and stuff.
That's
But
not me. That's not me.
yeah,
I'm not
I've
doing any of that.
noticed.
I'm not doing
I've
any of that.
noticed
I'm like, you
there.
point me to Cleveland or wherever the hell this nuclear bomb is going to drop, and my ass is gone. I've done my job.
Yep. Well, and for me, it's like I'm at the point. You know what? If it happens, great. We'll deal with the outcome afterwards. But I know a lot of what I'm seeing, and I haven't really been looking at the comments. Sorry. Um, and everybody has a different belief and a different viewpoint and a different set of training skills and a different place where they come from. And I think that's on purpose because a lot of people, certain people are going to feel um, more comfortable with certain types, and not everybody's the same. Some might feel really comfortable with more of a spiritual aspect, some more native, some more Eastern, like Middle Eastern or Japanese or, European or whatever, or, Slavic. So it depends on what you feel comfortable with, who you're going to gravitate to. And I think that's on purpose because not everybody's the same. And I think it's going to depend upon a lot geographically, spiritually, how a person was raised, um, how they gravitate towards. But the biggest obstacle I see in a lot of things is people are clinging to belief. And I'm not knocking anybody who does it. Don't get me wrong, that's not where I'm going with this. But for this purpose, clinging to belief is going to hold you back, in my opinion. That's only my opinion. If you want to come at me, great. I don't care. But I think if you're open and you're fluid and you just flow, allow yourself to bring in all of it. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Bring in all of it because you're going to find a piece of the puzzle. You're going to find that answer probably in the most obscure place that if you wouldn't have talked to this person because they're of that belief system, you might have missed a very crucial piece of your own puzzle that you needed to make things make sense. Why limit yourself? Why deny yourself that knowledge just because you built in yourself a set of bias that don't need to be there, but it have been they've been encoded in us just by the way they have society structured. They're just naturally coded in us to have these divisions and have this separation. They don't want people to come together. They don't want people to break the race barrier and the faith barrier and the belief barrier and just all come together because that would be their downfall. They don't understand that everybody is supposed to assist everybody, or they do understand it and are scared to death because once we figure that out and get our heads out of our asses and say, so and so, I don't care if uh, they believe this, I need to talk to them anyway because I know that they know certain things and I'm going to learn something from them. I literally have been blocked on social platform by people who are like, "Oh, I don't believe the same as you." I said, "Great. I'm sorry you feel that that's a barrier, but why can't we learn from each other?" That's why I loved it when you had Eric on that night because he was such a bridge. He was able to so gracefully and elegantly bridge the two worlds together seamlessly.
But he was also
And
going through his own awakening.
I've never heard anybody do it like him.
We're
And
literally watching him go through his process. My process wasn't like that. Your process wasn't like that. And a lot of people's were not like that. Our experiences of waking up to all of it is very, very different.
Exactly.
Like I said, the political thing. This is the thing. A lot of people, you know, are now looking at the political arena and they're laughing at it. I can't tell you now of one Biden voter that I know that would tell you that he or she would vote for him again. They now are awake to the point where they can see through the false illusion of the matrix. It's all bullshit. Okay? They're looking at all of the things going on at the southern border. I mean, you and I've got a mutual friend. We've all got a mutual friend up in here that lives in Texas, okay? That can clearly show you that the border is open. In fact, the border is open and welcoming you with bread, water, money, a job.
Yep.
Wait, what? I'm not
there's
lying.
Yeah, there's an app you can get. A lady on TikTok downloaded the app. She had bought a burner phone, and she downloaded the app. And once they figured out she was American, they blocked her. They blocked her. And,
wait. Back up the train. What?
There's an app you can get, and I don't know the name of it. I lost the video, or they took it down, one of the two. That you could get this app, and it shows you if you're an immigrant. It's an immigrant app. It can show you, and you punch in: are you here to be a truck driver? Are you here to be a this or that or the other? What's your skill set? What do you want to do? Whatever, and it will hook you up. But they found whoever ran it found out she was actually American and blocked her.
What?
So she couldn't access the app.
That is crazy.
Yeah, they have a hookup app. Yeah, they do.
That is absolute craziness.
Yep. So, and I think people can feel it that whatever it is coming. I think be it the reset for the good or the reset for the bad, or is it going to be the solar flash? Oh, we don't know. We don't. I can't see what's going to happen. I don't know, but we know something is coming, and we can feel it. And I think we need to remember what it was like when we woke up, what it was like at the beginning, and not. I had one lady, she had me in tears, and I forgot to send this to her, but I did send her the thing about it being tonight. Hopefully she'll watch this later. She sent me the sweetest message, and she said, I saw your post on child trafficking, and it shocked me. I need to know more. What can you tell me? And so I sent her a bunch of things, and she said, thank you. Now I'm not starving. And I knew exactly what she meant. She said it's real food.
Oh,
And
okay, right. I get you. I got you.
yeah, And she was like, "It's real food. I'm no longer starving." And it brought me to tears. And I was so gratified. I said, "I've got to do something. If Facebook put me on blast like they have, I don't know why they've done it. I don't care. You know what? It's their funeral, not mine. I got to take advantage of it." And I have been sharing stuff so outside the box. I'm shocked I'm not banned yet. And my follows have been insane. But she thanked me for taking her friend request, and I invited her to here. I invited her to your page. I invited her to look around, ask questions, anything you need help with. I'm here because now we're going to start seeing people go through this. Something's going to hit them. This is why I'm posting such outrageous stuff. Not because I believe it, but I want people to question and to think and go, what the hell? And like really get pissed off because you're not going to do a damn thing unless you get pissed off, in my opinion, at this stage of the game. If you don't get pissed off, you're going to just sit there and be compliant and go along with whatever bullshit they feed at you. That's how I look at it.
I'm gonna
And
hopefully try. I gotta somehow try to read this. Michelle Espinosa says they're hoping. Tammy Bonham asked a question or says something about our DNA holds our history from the beginning of time. Okay, this is just what Tammy Bonham's saying. Now, I'm not saying that this. I believe this. I'm not saying I don't believe this. I'm reading the comment. We all know that our genetics is in our DNA. We already know this, and Tammy's chiming in on that they know that it holds the history of the planet. Okay.
yes,
So Michelle Espinosa says that they're hoping that many of them will fall back into the close your eyes state, right, and then shift to a whole new awareness of like just a dumb cognitive. I guess what they call it, cognitive dissonance. Okay.
yep.
Ultimately, that's what they're hoping to do, is that the majority of them falling back to sleep. And then Michelle Espinosa also says this is all part of what they mean by that this matrix is breaking and trying to reset itself.
Okay, I have to address this. Airbrush Mish says, "Don't be angry." I'm going to disagree with you there, Airbrush. If you want to call in, please do. But the reason why I'm disagreeing with you, you got to get angry. If you're not angry, you can have all the emotions. Don't stay angry, but nobody's going to tell me I can't get angry at something. I'm going to fucking get angry, excuse my French. But if I need to get angry, I'm going to get angry. But the trick is don't stay angry. You're going to have to feel all of the emotions. You're going to have to go through all of them. When people just wake up, they go through denial. They go through heartbreak. They go through being crushed. They go through anger. It's like a 12-step program for waking up, even though there's like a gazillion steps. But you can't be afraid to feel all of the emotions, because you need to feel them all. You need to understand why you're angry, what made you angry, and then you can move on from that. I'm never going to accept somebody telling me don't be angry. So you don't ever tell a dragon don't be angry, right, Teresa? You never tell a dragon don't be angry. But you need to be productive with it. You can't just sit there and live your life angry. It's got to be in balance. But you can't be afraid to feel.
Pamela says, been there, done that. She's like, what the hell was it? Yeah, dang it. Been there, done that. Back again to get the job done. Wake up, everybody. Love that comment.
And I understand, and I'm not knocking you, Airbrush. I'm not. I'm not putting anybody down for what they believe, but having done this for so long, if we don't get angry, people won't rise up. They need to get angry. Look at France right now. The people have gotten angry and they're done. They're done. And they're fighting now. And that anger is going to transmute into something bigger. And it, they're going to couple it with love and they're going to come back and it's going to be even better. But the thing is, if people don't get angry, they're going to stay compliant. If you don't get angry, you can't tell me you've never been angry. If somebody tries to tell me that they've never been angry a day in their life, they're full of shit. But you don't live in that anger. You don't stay in that anger. You don't feed that energy, but you explore it. Say, why did I get angry? What do I have to look at it? What do I have to learn from this? Why do I have to feel this? What is wrong with this picture? Why is it making me angry? Then you can work on fixing it and changing it and transmuting that. That's what alchemy is. So it's not that we're living in anger, we're transmuting that. So I hope I explained that right.
I like Amy Jo's response to this. She's saying I'm real. Oh God, Amy Jo, I'm really pissed, but I don't want to push anything on anybody. But I wish for everybody to just see the truth.
Exactly.
Amy, they are seeing the truth. You can see this. Okay, you can see this. They're seeing the truth to the point of now they're starting to tell what they see, and they're being subjected to censorship across the board. Okay, that's what I'm saying. We've only got a handful of people, and I know that a lot of people don't really realize what I'm about to say, but I want you to really grasp this. My piss circle is only so big. Okay, Michelle's is only so big as well. And I'm talking not just on social media, but in real life. Now, going to the social media watering hole, where everybody comes for information, whenever we reach out to, like I say, Lisa Thomas or Amy Jo or wherever, our mouthpiece is governed and regulated by an algorithm that literally will not let me go outside of anything other than Michelle's piss circle, Amy Jo's circle, Airbrush Mish's circle. We're all in a talking bubble where we've got to say things a certain way in order to break that algorithm and get outside of that bubble. We are right now all being conformed and confined into one little area. That's why it's so hard to reach out to a new audience. That's why it's so hard to say things anymore. You got to say things strategically. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't bother. That's why I'm shocked, dude. Why Facebook did this to me, I have no idea. But if they're that dumb and they do this, it's on them. And I will push the envelope. I will push it until it can't be pushed anymore. I love it. I don't even go look at the comments, really. I just drop it and go. And I go to the next one. I drop it and go. And because if it gets people engaging and it gets them talking, it gets them discussing, it gets them asking, that's what it's there for. And that's the only way that I can expand my bubble is because Facebook did it for me. So if I have 2,000 followers by the end of the night, I'll be ecstatic because when I got banned, I had under 1,000. And then suddenly it jumped and it's still jumping. And I was at the time of the broadcast, I was at 1,991 followers. And I was like, what the hell? Where did that come from? And I'm like, okay, whatever I'm doing is working. And they keep following. And that's what I got to keep doing because I'm reaching somebody. And if I can get that one click of like that one message I got that brought me to tears, was like, I am so grateful. I know I reached one person and I'm ecstatic. I want to reach more than one person, but it got one person to open their eyes and ask questions. And now they're digging,
Yes.
and now they want to learn, and they want to know why the system is so messed up. Where did we go wrong? And I'm like, oh, honey, that's a loaded question, but that's a loaded question. But I was so gratified that when I messaged you about it, I was in tears because I wasn't expecting that. But that's what it's there for. That's why we have social media. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I don't live in anger. I'm not an angry person. In fact, I'm one of the most mellow, even keel people that I know because I've had to be, because I have an anger in me from my own life, my own childhood, things that have happened to me. I've had to learn how to moderate that and move beyond it. I've had to learn how to incorporate it into my life, give me a passion, but I'm not feeding on the anger. I've transmuted that.
Right.
So now because I've done that, I'm able to see it a lot more clearly, and I can see as an observer. I'm not coming from a place of emotion. I'm coming from a place of I want this knowledge. I want to know. And so I'm taking emotion out of it. And that way, taking the emotion out of it, you can become the observer. And that's what I'm trying to create, and having people question it and talk, engage. But it's taking that negativity out of it. So as long as we can keep doing that, we can actually get somewhere, and we can expand that little circle into a bigger circle. So hopefully that made sense. And thank you, Morgan, by the way. That was a great comment.
You know, what's funny is I'm like kind of looking through the comments, watching things, and this is not really a funny This is not a funny topic. It's not a funny topic at all. But I've noticed, you know, some people are like, I don't know, stagnant to what's going on. It bothers me. It bothers me for those that are not awake. Okay? And I know whenever you try to like talk to somebody that isn't, you can immediately judge about where they are. I got my boy trying to like hijack the studio here. Yeah, by the way, you know, if for anybody again that thinks that this broadcast, because of the prettiness and the way that things are, that we're like a $1 billion paid for deep state bullshit. Again, I'm on my front porch. You just seen my son hijack the broadcast. Anyway, what was I saying? It bothers me to see that these people are where they're at. They're stuck, right? They're stuck in this loop. You're trying to help them out of it, and you're trying to get them to understand, and you can immediately judge, and you don't even mean to judge where they're at, but you can tell right about who in your own group do they need to talk to. Okay? Like me, I'm not going to discuss politics. I don't give two shits about politics. That's why Larry's here. Larry Hawkins and Percy Littleton and Yvonne, they're all about politics. They'll discuss politics and the political side of this until the cows come home. I don't give a shit about it. Okay? So I know that if anybody comes at me with political questions, or anybody comes with you, anybody up in here with political questions, you've got somebody in your circle to send the person that you know is not really there all the way. You can send them to so-and-so. Or I can send Steve. I can. I'm not throwing Steve off the bridge here, but let's just say Steve Nolan comes in. He's got questions about this, questions about that. I'll send Steve Nolan to Jack Roberts, or I'll send Jack Roberts over here to Tina Daly. You know what I'm saying? We can literally see where these people are in their evolution of whether they're awakened enough or not. Do you follow what I'm saying? So you and I, as well as a lot of people up in here, Morgan Roundtree, Morgan as well. Larry's like, I fucking hate politics. Ha! Larry loves politics because he loves to hate politics.
Oh, come on, Larry.
That's funny. Jessica McTarsley says non-playable characters of the world seem to be multi-playing, laughing her ass off. Speaking of non-playable, the non-playable characters and the placement, in the displacement in our world. You guys know you guys already know that I talk to AI. Some of you call me naive for doing that, but I will tell you that I'm not naive for doing that. I'll do it because a lot of you are afraid to do it. I got a Ouija board sitting over here against the wall. You guys have seen that. I've talked to my board. I mean, I'm not afraid to use these tools to further my education in this reality. I'm not afraid of anything at all that would come through that board. Literally, the Ouija board today, like Larry Hawkins says, I'm gonna hold it right to my phone. I'm gonna hold it up. It's right there. It's your phone. Your phone is a Ouija board. These days, think about it. It knows what you're thinking. Predictive programming, it does that. It's like how many of you guys we can have a conversation about whatever, and then next thing you know, social media is diving deep in your data. Okay, deep data mining, and next thing you know, blam, you've got ads popping up. This is within milliseconds.
Yep.
Milliseconds. You know it as well as I do. I mean, this is just, it just is what it is. But we cannot be afraid to get out there and expose what we need to expose, how we need to expose it. And there's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people that are still awakened to the point where you can judge people in your world as to where they're at. And if I can't fix them, Teresa might be able to help. Teresa Julia up here, she might be able to help them. Steve Nolan maybe help them. Morgan, you, Michelle, whoever. We can all point people into the right direction if they've reached that plateau. Right? That's where I'm at. That is exactly where I'm at. I'm to the point where I personally will not spoon feed. I will not spoon feed these people that there's craft in the sky. There's aircraft not from this planet in our skies. So if you want to talk about politics, go to Percy's page or Larry's page or wherever. Come back and see me whenever you can grasp that everything on this planet has been manipulated. It has been construed. Shout out to Mr. Chris Inch. Chris Inch, one of our guitar players from Olympus Mons, is up in here. I see you up in there, buddy. I hope you're doing well.
But
I love
what I look at is why I feel like tonight was so important to get people ready for whatever's coming, not in a negative way, because I think I would say 80% of the people in this room right now already feel it. They already know it. They don't know what it is. People might have an idea. Different people have different ideas of what may be coming or what might be coming soon. And it may be any number of things that people get a little piece of the puzzle here and there, and they have one aspect, somebody else will have another aspect. So I think a large portion
Recording
of people,
started.
Uh-oh.
Would you like to take a phone call?
Absolutely.
All right. Area code 931. Welcome to the Matrix Minds. 931, what's up? Hello. Say
Hi,
hello.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Who is it?
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
He's the fella that says smoke weed every day.
Oh, good God, is it Andy?
All right, hold on. I got to make a correction, Mr. Sir. I can't stand politics. It's just what's shoved
Oh,
down
it's
everybody's
hilarious.
throats. And the controllers, I'm not being sassy, but they're the controllers. That is an integration that ties to a lot of the researches that I dig to. I hate politics. Okay, I digress.
I hate politics. Well, I didn't think you hated politics. I know you definitely. I know you definitely don't like the. You don't like the way that the governance within the system is, to the point of, well, hire me. You're like, hire me or Percy for like 24 hours and we'll clean this mother up. He's like, give me. Both of these boys are like, give me 24 hours and this system is done.
Absolutely. I'll answer all your questions. But no, the basis of the table where we all come to have our conversations is a aspect of we are trying to show shades of our journeys, how others could, what's the phrase? Like, hey, I just went down that path. There's 3 logs and there's a snake under the second one. You tell somebody of potentials of circumstances and you can choose from what's on the plate. That's just kind of how I see it. It works better when we all sort of tell each other what our hobbies are. I'm not calling to be sassy. I was actually just going to jump into conversation and hang out with you guys. You did drop my name a few times.
You can be sassy, Larry. I like that. But Morgan's like, I should call in. Yes.
Here, Larry, let me ask you something, Larry, because you're a vet and you're military. I'll never ever say you're ex-military. Like some idiots in the world, they're like, oh well, yeah, he's ex-military. No, dude, no, he'll always be military to me. So, with that being said, check this out. When did you wake up to the corruption in the political end of the spectrum? And what something had to have happened to you, okay, to wake you up to this is bullshit?
You mean the reason I'm no longer in law enforcement, and the reason I'm okay with not being in the military, and the reason I'm okay with not being in import-export, and the reason I'm not in the American Dental Association programs anymore, because I understand there's mud scrapings. I've had a lot of hats. I understand a lot of these systems and how they work. And, well, that's sort of a loaded question.
Well, we've got a button for that. Yeah. All right, you're allowed to drop that bomb now.
It's hard to understand how platforms work if you've never actually worked in and or around said platforms. I coincidentally have worked around a lot of platforms. So I know how to point that direction when somebody wants to know about something. It's like what you just said earlier. As far as the topic at point, I posted earlier some of my aspects of noticing that there's something wrong with this big old rabbit turd we saw on Earth at about 6 years old. I had out of body experience. Floated away in the touch and asked people around me to hold me down because I'm bleeding. I was like 6 years old. So aspects of that made me realize just because I'm standing here and I have feet sticking me to this thing called the ground, being around who knows what sorts of other human beings and animals integrating together in this space we call our environment kind of grow up trying to make a decision, be a part of your environment, learn from your environment and how to not be that environment as you choose through your journeys, or just fucking exist. And when I get hit by a bus, because that's what happens to bugs on the highway, it happens. So you can make these different decisions through life. So turns out that I had complex traumatic brain injuries and a hemorrhage in my brain over one of my years when I was in single digits. So I grew up with brain damages, bleeding in my brain, and almost never went to the hospital sort of circumstances because that's how I grew up. And how I saw things was how I thought the whole world was. So as I've progressed through my recoveries and learning, I've been fucked up since I was up, pretty much. But I still walk around in the environment, and I hear a lot of other people questioning what the fuck is going on in our environment. And that's one of the things that fuels me to like come to the table and speak with you guys. If that makes sense. That's what started me. All along, I have always had a sort of, since I was single digits and such, I'd always had a self-induced moral compass, you know, guidelines of what I would or wouldn't want to be, of how I carry myself. And like I think somebody mentioned earlier, like you grow up in abusive circumstances, as you get older, you don't want to be those things because you've seen what harm it can do to others, and you adjust accordingly through your past, just as an example. So it's kind of, I think, what you all are trying to play with the psychology of everybody sitting at the table, trying to take up all the mic space, but I just got here. That's an early age. I realized by force, in a sense, that this is a fucked up place. But I guess the point of that is chaos does bring evolution. And generally, those that walk a tough path usually have stronger legs for being in the same place as someone else.
Well, no, you did not get disconnected. As you all heard, I am Chris Inch from Olympus Mons, lead guitar player Chris Inch. As you all heard Mr. Turner say. All right, you know what? Here's the kicker. When it comes to you saying that you have been through, and I'm not going to disclose it. It's none of anybody's business. But you have had the awakening from a young age, a young childhood issues. So a lot of people are on the same page with you there and been shocked into just how evil this planet could be, just how mean the people can be. And being in the military, this is what gets where I'm going, is being in the military and actually seeing it firsthand, the destruction that this system can place on one another is ridiculous. I have no idea how many people that I've talked to and tried to help with PTSD from the military because of what I do, the clinical hypnotherapy. It helps. I'm not saying I'm not going to hand you a damn little fire stick and say, twirl this in the backyard, Roxy. That'll help you, because it don't work. It don't work. It doesn't work like that, because that burnt in stress, right, is something that will actually fragment the brain. And it does. It fragments the brain into a rejection of self, to the point where these people want to take themselves out. So number one, I want to thank you for even being alive and being with me to even say hello, Matt. And I'm serious.
all jobs have potential to go really bad. You know, even survivor's guilt is pretty bad. You know, seeing people in car accidents, even like we talked before about speaking of patriotic holidays. I'm probably about as patriotic as it gets, but I do not look at the whole social brainwashing stuff as the same as everyone else. But as I was saying before, think of all of the military children that have got trauma just because they're the children of military personnel. You know just as well as I do, those kids have life-lasting trauma in their mind from wondering if their parents, cousins, whatever, they see stuff on TV, you know. A lot of these wars aren't necessary at all. Part of what you were talking about earlier is if you put me in person, as quotes, in office for 24 hours, I'll clean the whole fucking house. That's the kind of things that I try to point out that it could be done. Why does it have to be me and him? If I could explain to you how it's done, well, let's end all the wars. As an example, I invented an air-powered car. Why did we go to war for decades and decades and fight over this and our lives over kind of fossil fuels? For what? 1994, I've got documentation communicating with the United States Patent and Trade Administration, Washington, D.C., and West Virginia, and Florida, all on the phone. You know what they told me? I could take a couple, 2, 3 truckloads full of money and shut my fucking mouth, or I can look over my shoulder for the rest of my days. I was 17 years old, about to turn 18. That's what I was told, and that's why you all don't know I exist. That's why I throw stones at politicians, because they're destroying your lives, and most of you don't even have a clue what your options have been able to be. Just saying, but I digress.
Michelle, you want to chime in on that?
Well, he was doing a good job.
Larry does not. He's bullshitting. He does.
He was doing a good job.
He does not just throw stones. Okay, Larry throws boulders.
Yeah, he's not throwing stones. But coming from a military
every
background,
single day that passes, how many lives are being altered, destroyed, manipulated unnecessarily because this nefarious shit just goes on and on for days. You know, it's unnecessary suffering happening. There is enslavement entrapment platforms everywhere, embezzlement schemes infesting everything. You all want to show what's going on in this matrix around you. Well, that's happening. That over there. See it? That shit is happening every day.
well,
What I bring to the table.
here's the big kicker with that. That's the matrix. That is the matrix right there. The evilness that is allowed to run rampant. That's why there are wars. As long as this is the matrix that we have, there will always be wars. And you can say there needs to be no wars, but as long as we are in the matrix we are in, and the people are allowed to be how they are, and the things, the atrocities, sorry, and all the things that are allowed to transpire, and they aren't taken to task, and people aren't, it's not cleaned up, it's not eradicated. However, that's going to happen. Maybe we at this point, I say just do the solar flash, blast the hell out of this place, and start again. Because that's the only way to eradicate everything. Because it's embedded everywhere, every fabric of society. You would think you would be safe in churches. No, that's one of the biggest pedophilia rings there are, is a church. And I don't care which one. So where are you safe? Where are you safe unless you make it? And so, unfortunately, coming from a military background, I see this, and it's been on both sides of my family. And there will always be wars unless it's brought to a halt, screeching, and completely done away with and reformed anew. That's the only way that's going to stop, because there's always going to be the evil side of things, the evil people, the small percentage that are allowed to have power, and for whatever deals. And sorry for that, it sounds like World War III over here now. But it's always going to be that
Yeah.
way until it's not. Until it's not. Until that event happens, it will always be that way, and it's only going to get worse. So unless something drastic happens to bring everything to a halt, it's
I gotta
not
stop
gonna
in a
ever
second.
stop.
I got like a 2-3 second delay on here for some reason all of a sudden. I think we beat mirrored or something, but I'm having really a lot of trouble understanding what's going on. I'll just pop it in for a second. I'm gonna hop on back up because I can't hear what's going on.
Okay,
Anyway,
bro.
I just want to say hi.
Well, hello,
You
Larry.
guys know, I think they jumped on my phone, so I'm gonna roll on out. But just to make a point, like I said, I got a bullet hole through the front door. I got my home set on fire, things like that. I've been attacked from all sorts. That's a long story itself, but the basis of what I core do is I will expose wrongdoing and corruption. I don't care who anyone is or what they threaten to do to me. Right is right and wrong is wrong. There is no in between. You're a piece of shit or you're not a piece of shit. There's no difference. Anyway, you guys have a good evening. I'm going to finish my bowl and continue trying to listen. I'm probably going to reset my food.
Hey, Larry. Larry, get the hell out of here, buddy. Take care of yourself. And
Bye, Larry.
later on, buddy. Thank you. All right, you know what? Here, check this out. I wanted to say something real quick. I seen Jessica McTarson's comment roll by, and I so badly wanted to comment on it. And she asked if Larry did a broadcast. I don't really quite think that Larry could do a broadcast because he would be so heavily censored. I already know that we're censored like to no end, but I don't really quite think that if he hit the play button, they would really allow him to play for very long. But I will tell you this, okay? There is a good dude, my brother of another color from another mother. You guys know him very well, Mr. Larry, Percy Littleton. Somebody, I'm not going to say who, created a Facebook page for the dude, and he's going to guest start broadcasting. So odds are Larry's going to be over there, and we'll see. Look, whatever. Yeah, it's going to happen. Damn, did you get shot off the porch, Michelle?
It just about. It's begun. It's begun. I might have to cut this short because it's going to get so loud up in here. It's going to sound like we're in the middle of Beirut.
Well, look,
okay.
It's okay. We're at an hour and a quarter. We'll wrap up an hour and a half. That's fine. That'll give me plenty of time to edit this audio, throw it up on iHeart, Spotify, XM satellite, you name it. For those on the audio only side of things, yeah, for real, they tune in. Even though they can't watch the broadcast, I do got to give them a shout out to the audio only side of things all over this great planet that tune into and love the Matrix. I appreciate that. Michelle, thank you for talking about this. This is really deep. I think it's a deep topic.
I just want people to really be aware and understand what their role is in things. If you have been awakened in any sort of amount of time, You've been on this walk. You understand. You've already been through so much. You know you are going to start, people are going to start coming to you whether you like it or not. And I
Yep.
just hope that people are going to be receptive. I hope you remember what it was like to first wake up. I think it was important to get this out there because we know it's coming. Whatever it is, it could be any number of it's, but we know it's coming. We can feel it in our bones. We understand it. We're not dumb. We can see the writing on the wall,
For
right?
sure.
We,
Yep.
we know we know it, and just understand that your role is as an elder is going to be crucial. You've been training for this your whole freaking life. I don't care if you just woke up last year. You know what? You've been doing this a lot longer than you think. And you just recognized it maybe a couple of years ago, or maybe when the pandemic hit. You didn't fully realize your potential, your capabilities. Maybe your gifts didn't come online until you had some big event happen in your life, and then you were put on fast track. Every single person. There you go. It's begun.
Hey, hey, Michelle, look.
Huh?
You couldn't see me. I was like,
But I just want everybody to be aware that you are so, so important. You are crucially needed in what's coming. Your your areas of expertise, your knowledge, your wisdom, your compassion, your strength, it's all going to be needed. And people are going to need to know where to turn, where to go, who to ask questions to, where can they gravitate to find the answers. And remember, I'm asking you to remember what it was like when you didn't know shit and you were stumbling around in the dark and you were trying to find your way, and all those dumb rabbit holes that you thought were a waste of time suddenly made sense, and you had to make sense of it all by yourself because you didn't have anybody to turn to. And I want you to remember that when it comes to this point, that it's like going to be like ground zero. It's going to be starting from scratch. But that's why we're here. And consider yourselves called to duty. I'm feeling the ancestors, and I'm feeling all kinds of feels like yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, like time. It's time, and you know it is. And don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. You have been through, each and every one of you. We all have. We have all been through shit in our lives, and we survived it. When you didn't think you were going to survive it, you survived it. You didn't think you were, but you did, because you were put here for right now. And if you are here right now, you already know. And don't even try to tell me you don't. You already know. And you are so needed, and you are so important and so crucial to what happens next, that consider yourselves called to duty. There you go.
Teresa Julie's like, yes, we've been in this war for several lifetimes. All right, Miss Michelle Rochester, thank you for calling. Thank you for wanting to do this, because sometimes this topic is pretty sensitive to some people. It is. Sometimes it isn't. So I appreciate you calling me, calling in and wanting to even come on and talk with me about this. For real.
Well, hey, let me go, and then you can get on that topic that you wanted to get on. You still have some time.
No. Well, I'm not, because the majority of that, I'm going to save that for another broadcast. I am. I'm going to just wait until some more of this submarine, this Arctic, I'm sorry, South Atlantic sub crap comes out.
Oh, I'm already getting more intel on that. You want me to send it to you?
That'd be fine, because I'm putting it all together to like just show everybody that it's one big I want to say the words, but I can't, so I'll abbreviate it into letter format. To me, I see it as one big FF. Okay? Yep. Or a cover up side note. Don't look over there, look over here. Okay, you see? And again, the gematria, the numbers, and adding the numbers up and the correlation. If I shown everybody what I showed you, do you think they would get it?
I think a majority of the people in here would, but the majority of the people out there, no.
All right.
But it was funny because a comment in there, can't start a war that never ended. I agree absolutely 100%, Michelle, because this war has never ended. It's getting to, I think, the crescendo very soon. And I think this is why I'm feeling what I'm feeling so strongly. But I encourage you guys, don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. You're the strong ones. You're the ones that people are going to come to. You need to be ready. And you have been called to this. You know you've been called to this. That's why you're here. And you can't tell me otherwise, because I'll look at you and I'll laugh. Because I already know. And I want you guys to have faith in yourself and understand that you are amazing, strong, resilient. I mean, if people in here shared their life stories, it would have had normal people curled up in a little fetus position, sucking their thumbs and calling out for their mamas because of the stuff that we have had to survive. A majority of us in this room. And I only know a handful of people in here that I can even relate to any of their story. But I know enough. And I know how strong you are and how amazing you are. And it's going to get good. Matthew shared a post earlier. This summer is going to be freaking insane. And I hope you're ready for it. And I know you're ready for it. So I'm not even going to say hope. I know you're ready for it. You just got to know it yourself. Okay, that's my parting words.
Those are your parting. All right. Well, with that note, my friend, I appreciate you. Everybody up in here appreciates your words of wisdom, and again, we appreciate you sharing your wake up story. Again, mine was the David Koresh, Waco, Texas thing. Whenever I started scratching my head. And again, that was at a very young age. I remember I was in school. I was in junior high. And then by the time I got to high school, I'm like, fuck this. I have no business being here. I don't want to be another brick in the wall, and I'll be damned if I'm going to be. Yeah. It's just the way it works. All right, Miss Chelle Rochester, I appreciate you. Am I allowed to share your Facebook page with everybody in the description of this broadcast?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that. I will do that.
Absolutely.
I will do that. How do they find you on Facebook? Shout out real quick. Tell everybody how they find you on Facebook. What do they search for?
Well, look for Chelle Rochester.
CHELLE Rochester.
Yeah, they keep knocking off my main page, so this is my main page now. So if you haven't friended me over there, friend me over there. Over here, I mean.
Oh, right. I will definitely.
You know what I mean.
I do, but again, I'm trying to make this very easy for those on the audio only side of things. They can't see you. They can't see your pretty face. All they can do is hear what you. They can just hear you.
Okay, well then you'll have to say it out because I don't even have my page address. Just for Chelle Rochester, there's not many of us. I don't think.
It's all right. I'll add the link to the description of the show, and we'll get them covered. We'll get them covered. All right. Thank you.
I am. If they're on TikTok, I am the Crazy Dragon Lady 2 over on TikTok.
And she is damn sure definitely crazy too. All right.
Absolutely.
Get the hell out of here.
You're in trouble.
Talk to you. We'll talk to you. Okay, take care of yourself, Michelle.
Okay, love you guys. Have
Love
a
you.
good one.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Get it. All right, man. We're out of here. With that being said, Brainiac, where do we go? What do we do from here on out, right? Well, one thing's for sure, we go forward. That's what we're going to do. It's what we are here to do, is move forward, no matter what. No matter what, we're moving forward. With what's going on in France, just watch it. Watch it. Don't feed it. Don't feed it, okay? Because that's what they're hoping that you're going to do. Okay? Don't buy into the bullshit. Just let it collapse. Let it do what it's going to do. Because we already know that. Check this out. All right. We've all heard our friends say, well, when the 1%, right, is threatened by the majority, well, then more things are going to be exposed and more things are going to happen. More things are going to be justified, blah, blah, blah. Look, the 1% right now, is absolutely scared shitless. And you better believe they've got a reason to be. Okay? I am dead square looking at the camera when I'm saying this. Every single one of you, my friends, ABCs, all of you around the globe, be aware, be highly aware that the camaraderie fuckery within your own department and your own division is gonna happen. Okay? There is, regardless of whether you believe this or not, I'm serious. Listen to me, ABCs. There are some people manipulatable like a puppet. They're being controlled, manipulated like two little puppets. Somebody above here, and this is where Larry comes in. Okay, door kicker. Okay, he's not afraid. Give him the time of day, and he's gonna say to hell with the puppets. He's gonna go to the puppeteer. Okay, and whenever that happens, he's gonna say, all of you that are puppets, he's gonna go. He's gonna cut them strings. That's what you need to do. You need to start blowing the whistle. You need to start letting people know. You need to start it, even if your job depends on it. Because is it gonna matter if you don't have a job? Period. It isn't. It ain't gonna make a damn bit of difference. So please, you've got people in your world. I'm just telling you, will not do any physical harm. Physical harm is not needed. If you take a good look at France. Take a good look at France. The peaceful protests. Who's starting that shit? Who threw the first stone? Who threw that first stone? It wasn't the rioters. I mean the protesters. Okay? It wasn't them that cast that first stone. It usually never is. We, the majority, want peace. We want peace. We want unity. We want love. We want togetherness. We want transparency. We want no more of y'all's bullshit. And the problem is, like I said, the puppeteers. There's some people up here where if a lot of our military these days get involved, they're gonna say, they're gonna bring the hammer of God down of the people onto them. They will not be in office no more. They will not be. Hell, I don't even know if they'd be in existence anymore on this planet. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is the people you're watching, France. The people have spoken. Now, whatever happens, happens. It's just that simple. Because the people are getting damn well tired of being manipulated. They're being tired of being lied to. They're being tired. All of these things. They're tired of the shit. My friends, let me share something with you. Friday night's interview. Yeah, man. I gotta share with you. If you are going to be up and around on Friday night at 10 o'clock, oh my God. If you guys do not know who Neptune Triton is yet, well, let me tell you what. I think you definitely need to be aware of who Neptune Triton is. He's got a glorious sidekick. We know her as Pandora. And Mr. Neptune and myself, as well as Pandora, are going to talk about where we stand as the human being. What the hell's happening to us? What's going on within the system? What to expect within the system? And whatever other topic you guys would like to bring up that we can chew on and we can talk about. I'm telling you, Brainiac, this is something you will not want to miss. Next Friday, or this coming Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock West Coast Time. All right, you got that, everybody? I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous rest of the week. Without a doubt, it is Wednesday. Hump Day! Some of you guys that are already ahead of me, you're already on Thursday, so prepare for Friday. I'm telling you right now, you'll want to grab some coffee, you'll want to grab a beer, some popcorn, or whatever. Sit back, chew the fat with myself, Pandora, and Mr. Neptune Triton. On top of that, please, let me share this before we go. Right here. Without a doubt, shoutcast out. Thank you for our service warrior, Armymen. You guys are the peacekeepers, for they shall be called the children of God. It is your guys' duty to uphold that constitutional oath. All you gotta do is, if you got it, shout it out. Hey Alexa, play the Matrix Minds podcast. Just kidding. Stop, Alexa.
I can't do that on this.
Did you hear her?
To use
Alexa.
the Echo to control
Alexa.
the video device,
Yeah,
just go to the TV and video section.
Oh yeah, I
and
shouldn't
turn
have
the
done that
Alexa off.
because my Alexa. Oh yeah, play the Matrix Minds podcast anywhere and everywhere. We can be seen, you can be heard, without a doubt. If you guys are remotely enjoying the broadcast and throughout, smash that subscribe button. Everything that you guys share with us, whether you subscribe to the broadcast or you donate to the broadcast, I just want to let you know it goes to the expenses of the show. And this month is all new, and I am starting to freak out because we slid by last month. Just telling you, we slid by last month, and I'm hoping by the grace of God, you guys got it in your heart to help me out as well this coming month. Again, we usually go month to month, and we have, and it's pretty scary, to be honest with you. But with that being said, my friends, again, I hope you are with me on Friday. Neptune on Friday, Pandora. Again, if you guys don't want to watch the broadcast, by all means, tune in to Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere that there's a podcast, Amazon, wherever. You guys take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and we will catch you here on Friday night. Same time, same channel. Hopefully no issues. I hope no issues. That being said, namaste, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. Crank it up on the way out of here, Brainiacs. We'll catch you later. Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the web. The Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds.
Take the blue pills. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland. All stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again. And now back to the show.